Hello there, this is Eli J. Brown / Eli J. Brony, and welcome to a little special video that I am making right now. This is a look at some custom 2003 style Matoran. These are Matoran built in the same way as the 2003 Matoran. They are all official characters, but these are not official sets. From left to right, we have Kapura, Tameru, Kongu, Onepu, Tepu, and Nuparu. Now, I decided to do this sort of thing considering that none of these characters were officially released in this sort of style. I do have some ideas on how they could have been released if they had been released in this sort of manner. If you have seen my Tepu and Kapura, as well as my Jaw and Gutko reviews, you probably would know that in those reviews, I said that that Jaw and Kapura should have both appeared in the set with Puku, and then the Matoran, Koli team, Kongu, and Tameru were in the Gutko Bird set. And I would think that Onepu, Tepu, and Nuparu would come in a set together, like with some sort of boxer set. Alright, now something that you probably have noticed is that the center four here all are carrying Koli sticks, but the outer two are not carrying any. And the reason for that is because, while the four in the center are all members of the respective Koli teams, Kapura and Nuparu were not. They were not part of their village's Koli team, which is very unique for Nuparu because he would be the only Matoran not part of his village's Koli team to become a Toa and Nika. Every other Toa and Nika was part of their respective Koli team. And the same would go for Kapura. I decided to make him since he did play a part of the Chronicler's company, so that's why I built him. I pretty much decided if I was to do custom Matoran just like this, may as well have them all be the either characters who eventually became the Toa and Nika, characters who were part of the Chronicler's company, or characters that were part of the Koli team, as well as any characters that were released in 2001 prior. Now, I did do customization for most of these, but there is one exception. Taipu here does not have any custom parts on him. All that I did was put a black Bakari onto Hafu instead of a black Ruru. Got an extra Hafu off of Bricklink and put on a black Bakari that I had, and the black Ruru went into the parts drawer. I don't know if I'm going to be using that for anything else, but I just thought a quick way of making Taipu was by getting another Hafu set. Okay. So that is Taipu right there. Now, Kapura right here, the only thing that's custom for him, and by the way, he actually has the dark red Matoran headpiece instead of the light gray one. I may give him a light gray one later on, but for now, he has the dark gray one that came from the 2001 series. And I know that the mask was released in red, but it is very, very rare, so the one you see here is actually spray painted. And as for the other characters, Nuparu here, well, the only thing that's custom on him would be the gearbox right here. Although, as far as the gearboxes go, some Matoran can move from side to side very smoothly, very easily, while others not so much. So, the gearbox back here is spray painted, everything else is the official color that it should be. Although you probably could have used a different sort of gearbox system since the official one was not released in this specific color that you would need. So I just went ahead and spray painted one because I really wanted it to look like it could be an actual set. So I just went ahead and spray painted that. The same story goes for Onepu, having the same black gearbox. Just used spray paint. And also took a black Sharpie's marker to cover up any parts of it that I missed. The upper legs are also obviously spray painted, as they were not released in purple. And I know what you're thinking, yes, I know. These are not the right purple. But I was not able to find any spray paint in the right shade of purple. And of course, I didn't really know what shade of purple I was going to be getting, because it was really hard to tell. In fact, in comparison, I think that this purple is closer to being the 2011 purple that came out in Hero Factory. But I went with it anyway because it was the closest that I could get. And an alternative idea is probably to spray paint all of the other pieces that are purple in this shade of purple so they will match. But I'm not going to do that. It's pretty much close enough as far as I can get. Alright, and next, Kongu here. Kongu is the one I am most proud of. I really like the design of Kongu in this case. He also has the spray painted upper leg pieces, as well as a gearbox. It's not the exact same shade of lime, and this is not the exact same shade of teal that is used, but it's the closest that I could do. And pretty much on camera, it's really hard to tell that it's not the same shade of teal as what we have with the official pieces. I think it's only easy to tell that they are not the same shade of each color if you look at these in person instead of in a video. But on video, it actually looks the same. It really does. Almost like this was actually an official set. So, I spray painted the gearbox in a lime green, and I also spray painted the upper torso in a lime green. And then here with Tameru here, and yes, I know, the upper body piece, the main body piece, is not actually in a dark green color. It is in a teal color. And I'm going to tell you my reason for why I did not do that. Well, if I spray painted the arms, which have ball joints on them, in a teal color, if I moved them around, the paint would come off, which is why I went with the dark green color instead. I probably could have also used the, what is it? The light blue with the Matoran sets, but this was what I went with, and I really wanted him to still look like a Lematoran and not a Gamatoran in Lematoran's clothing, if you get what I mean. So, what's spray painted here? The legs, even the feet, and the gearbox. Now the gearbox on this one is not all that easy to move about. I mean, it's a little easy to move, and I think the reason why it is not as easy to move as the other ones is because I actually spray painted this one a number of times, because I kept seeing a number of different places where the paint just did not reach, or any chips that had happened. So, that is why it's a little more difficult to move this one about. Okay, and the mask is obviously the right color. This is the only custom colored mask. So that's about all that I have to say for the 2003 custom Matoran figures that I have made here, all supposed to be based upon official characters that were never released as sets, at least not in this version anyway. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.